Hey, how's it going?
Doing good. So, Alyssa Thomas has her career high with 29 points, especially with DeWanna Bonner's return. Talk to me about what fired her up ahead of today's game.
Well, I think we talked about it before the game. Minnesota, is this thing on? Okay, it's all right. I think we talked about it before the game. Minnesota does a good job of taking away our threes. We've kind of struggled in that area. So there was a lot of room to work for AT. Pretty amazing. That's her career high. So awesome that she did it today. I mean, it was a heck of a performance by her. She's had two back-to-back big-time games. She did it attacking downhill. She found it on her rolls. You know, this is a team that we're still figuring out who we are and how teams are going to play us. Minnesota is obviously one of the teams that is trying to take away the threes, and we kind of lived in the paint tonight. And when you take away the threes, that's what you got to look for, is scoring in the paint. But I want to give the credit to our defense. I mean, we did an unbelievable job in the second half. What Mo did, Courtney Williams is an all-star. Mo really competed at that defensive end in the pick and rolls.
Coach, particularly against Nafisa and in the first half especially, what did you see out of the execution, out of the game plan defensively against her?
Yeah, I mean, I think the game plan is just you put AT on one of their best players and let her go to work, right? She does such a great job of not fouling. She understands tendencies. There's no easy possessions against her. She just competes at an extremely high level. And, yeah, I mean, absolutely unbelievable performance by AT today.
And Alyssa, like you just mentioned, had to carry the weight in the scoring today, but
Yep.
Akoa Makani picked up the facilitating.
Yep.
How have you seen her grow in that facet?
Yeah, I mean, I think Mo is keep trying to find her way, right? I mean, we haven't had a lot of games where Ka, Satu, and AT are out there with her, but I think, you know, she's a rookie. She's trying to figure it out. She's trying to play the right way, trying to get great players involved. And, you know, with Ka and Satu out, she's got to look to be more aggressive. And I thought in the third quarter she was extremely aggressive. She did a good job picking her spots. And, you know, we want her to go against the best guards in the league, so she continued to grow. And I thought it was a hell of a matchup between her and Courtney. A very, like, a good respect. You know, hey, I'm here. I wanna, you know, challenge you and see what I can get done.
Coach, you talked about pregame, you know, integrating DB and letting her kind of go, and
Yeah.
whether it's that tonight or, you know, Sammy the other night or the injuries you guys have had, it's interesting that on both sides of the ball, you guys kind of make your hallmark on team play, whether it's ball movement or the defensive, you know, execution that you've been able to put together. What would you attribute that plug and play ability with such a team-oriented team?
Yeah.
How do you make that happen? How does that work for you so far?
That's a good question. I'm glad you didn't notice, because I was struggling to call stuff offensively. I think that's probably the biggest difference, right? When you add new pieces, it kind of throws off your continuity. This was a quick turnaround for Sammy, especially. She had to do a lot the other night. I think, you know, obviously Minnesota was ready. But we've got competitive players at the defensive end. I think the defense is probably a little bit easier, because we like to get competitive players that come in and fly around defensively. And then offensively, it helps, you know, when AT is, she just shares it, right? And tonight she looked to score, which we needed. And the cool thing with DB coming in, you know, her and AT played multiple minutes together, right? And so that's part of the reason why we were excited to get DB, is like it wasn't going to be new to her playing with AT's her style of play. And so yeah, I thought at times our execution was a little bit clunky, and I've talked about that. The half court stuff, we're at our best when we get stops and run, because you got AT leading the break and shooters around. But yeah, I think it's just a credit to the group. you know, we've had people in and people out, and whoever's been available has competed at a high level, and we've had different people step up. I thought Kat had some huge plays down the stretch. I thought Mac had a really good first half. So yeah, I thought it was an overall really good win.
How much does DB being put in the corner impact your spacing so that way you can open up the middle for AT to go to work, being that you couldn't only hit 1-3 all night,
Yeah.
or all day, I should say.
Yeah, all day. Yeah, it's weird. We're gonna walk out and see sunlight, but yeah, I think it just adds some more versatility to our team. It's kind of like having Kat out there next to AT. You know, we're gonna be able to have Satu and AT out there together, or DB and AT, or Satu and Kat. I think just the versatility. I mean, I just kept saying to the staff and some of our players, I can't believe how big DB is. Like, she's just got size and length. I mean, she went behind and wrapped and tipped that ball out. I mean, and I've just been, you can just feel her professionalism and her approach just in our building, her focus in the timeouts. Like, this stuff matters to her. She's excited to be here, and we're excited to have her.
You talked about how important it is for you guys to rebound. Me and Stuart out-rebounded today, but how much of an impact does it make when you can have your perimeter players like Sammy and like Dewana getting in there and getting 5+ boards? Yeah,
the first half they kicked our butt on the glass, and so that was one of the things that Coach Joyner talked about in the second half. And we really held them. We really held them to one shot for the most part in the second half. To hold the team to 34 points in the second half is a credit. You know, you're doing a lot of good things. I think we had 2 or 3 shot clock violations. Maybe could have had a fourth. Courtney hit a tough shot, but we really fought. We were extremely gritty and showed a ton of toughness on that defensive end.
Hey, Coach. Can you also talk to me about Catherine Westfeld's crunch time shots as well? She's been scoring aggressively in the paint, even though she got into some foul trouble as well.
Yeah, I mean, she only had 7, but 4 or 5 of them were huge. It was right there in the last, 6 minutes of the game, extra possessions. She's really done a good job of crashing the glass, and Kat's just continued to get better.
Coach, what does a win like this say about this team and standing in the league, being the best team with the best record in the WNBA without 2 of your best players?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we really don't talk about that. I think that's probably more for the media to talk about. This group is focused. I've been very impressed. They're not worried. They're probably more disappointed in just they feel like people overlook them. They're not trying to get their shine or anything like that. Like, we just like to compete, and they wanted a challenge today, and we competed at a high level.
Is this officially now the best show in town, especially now with DB coming back? And,
Yeah.
Of course, the new big 3 with Satu and Kai and AT now in here.
Yeah. That's for you guys to decide. I'm new to Phoenix, so.
We'll do one more.
Speaking of DB, today was her first game back as a Phoenix Mercury since 2019. How do you think she did, and how do you think she's kind of meshing in with the rest of the group?
Yeah, it's going to take a little time but she's seen everything. I mean, I think this is her 16th year in the league. There's no coverage. There's no team. Like, she's going to be fine. I mean, that's why I wasn't planning on playing her 26 minutes tonight. I think the first win was probably the hardest, right? Getting up and down, the emotion of everything. She's probably cramping up a little bit now, but she's going to have a day or two to recover, and we can actually have a practice with her here in the next couple days, but she's going to figure it out. I mean, she can play the 2, she can play the 3, she can be a 4, she can be a 5. Just, again, it's going to help our size out there, just our length, and we're really excited that she's here.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Coach.
you.